Chapter 50. I'm sorry that so many brothers have fallen into the trap. I wonder what fate awaits them. Though no harm will come to them, all their achievements are lost. I'll go to Mount Kunlun for help. I don't think any of them will die. He left West Chi for Mount Kunlun, and descending from the sky, approached the palace and saw White Crane Lad beside the 9 Dragons sandalwood carriage. "Where is Grand Master going?" he asked. "He's going to West Chi. You'd better go back and prepare a quiet, clean chamber. Burn incense to receive him." Burning Lamp returned to West Chi and entered the Reed Pavilion. He found Jiang Ziya sitting there alone. "Quickly order your men to decorate the pavilion and burn incense. Grand Master will be here soon." Jiang Ziya washed himself thoroughly, and holding burning incense, waited at the roadside. Before long, Heavenly Primogenitor arrived in his 9 Dragons sandalwood carriage. When they heard divine music in the air, Burning Lamp and Jiang Ziya knelt on the ground. Heavenly Primogenitor descended from the carriage. Burning Lamp and Jiang Ziya escorted him to the Reed Pavilion, where they knelt and kowtowed again. Heavenly Primogenitor told them to stand up, but Jiang Ziya remained kneeling on the ground. "Nearly all your disciples have fallen into the Yellow River trap. I beg for your compassion to rescue them from this calamity as soon as possible," he pleaded. "This has been destined by heaven, and nobody can change it. Don't say any more." The master sat in silence. Burning Lamp and Jiang Ziya stood at his side. At midnight, a huge, bright, colored cloud rose from the top of the master's head, and thousands of lamps floated up and down above the pavilion. High Firmament saw it and said, "Uncle's here. What shall we do? I didn't want to leave the island, but you two insisted. I've taken many disciples of the Jade Emptiness Palace. I can neither set them free nor send them all to death. I'm really in a quandary. Now that Uncle's come, how can I face him?" "You're wrong, sister. He isn't our master. We respect him only for the sake of our own master. We can do anything we please, as we aren't his disciples. There's no need to fear him." Jade Firmament reassured her. "We'll respect him if he's polite to us, but if he's not, we'll do as we like. He's our enemy and we can't yield before him. What's there to worry about now that we've already gone this far?" Green Firmament added. The next day, Heavenly Primogenitor ordered the Immortal of the South Pole, "Get my carriage ready. Now that I'm here, I'll go to see the trap." Burning Lamp led the way, and Jiang Ziya followed behind. Heavenly Primogenitor left the pavilion and rode to the front, where White Crane Lad shouted loudly, "High Firmament, come out and receive Heavenly Primogenitor." High Firmament and her sisters came out. They bowed at the roadside and said, "Uncle, we beg your pardon for being so negligent in the rites. It's fate that my disciples should suffer. Nevertheless, even your master doesn't venture against the will of heaven. Why did you ignore his orders? You'd better go in and I'll follow right after you." The 3 sisters went back in and mounted the platform to see how the Heavenly Primogenitor would move about inside. Before long, they saw the master flying about the Yellow River trap in his sandalwood carriage, held about 2 feet above the ground by a bright multicolored cloud. Looking around with his wisdom eye, the master saw his 12 disciples lying on the ground, their eyes tightly closed. He sighed deeply and said, "Just because they were unable to sever themselves from all desire, they lost all the achievements they had so laboriously attained." When he turned to leave the trap, Pretty Cloud threw an eye-blinding pearl at him, trying to take him by surprise. But the pearl turned to ashes before it could reach the master. High Firmament turned pale at the sight. When Heavenly Primogenitor was seated in the pavilion again, Burning Lamp asked, "How are they now?" "They've lost their divine flowers, and their divine gates are closed. They're nothing more than mortals now. Why didn't you rescue them?" "Though I am Grand Master, I must first consult my elder brother." primogenitor said with a smile. He was speaking when they heard the cry of a deer in the air. Here he comes now. All of them went out to meet Laozi. As Laozi descended from the sky on his ox, heavenly primogenitor advanced, laughing loudly. I've troubled you solely for the sake of the Zhou dynasty. I couldn't but come, brother. Laozi answered with a smile. Burning Lamp guided him to the pavilion. Burning Lamp and Jiang Ziya then kowtowed before him. Have you looked at the trap yet? Laozi asked. I've been there once. It's just as the celestial phenomena indicated. I've been waiting for you. Heavenly primogenitor replied. You ought to have destroyed it. There's no need to wait for me. The two masters then sat down and mediated in complete silence. At the sight of a pagoda floating in the air shooting forth colored beams, High Firmament said to her sisters. The Grand Master from Mount Shandu is here as well. What shall we do? Dear sister, we've got our own master. Don't worry. If they come here again, I won't treat them as kindly as I did yesterday. Green Firmament said. When they enter the trap, we'll cast up both the scissors and the dipper. There's nothing to be afraid of. Jade Firmament decided. The next day, Laozi told his brother. We'll leave as soon as the trap's broken. We won't linger in the red dust of the vulgar world longer than absolutely necessary. You're right, brother. Heavenly Primogenitor agreed. Heavenly Primogenitor ordered the Immortal of the South Pole to prepare his carriage, while Laozi mounted his blue ox. As they went out, a red haze appeared everywhere and an unusual fragrance filled the air. They soon reached the Yellow River Trap. You three sisters come out to meet us at once. Laozi demanded. As bells sounded inside, the three sisters emerged. They stood before the two masters, neither bowing nor offering any greetings. How dare you be so insolent? Even your master would bow when meeting us. Laozi reprimanded them. We have our own master, and we don't acknowledge Mount Shandu. As you don't show us any respect, we won't honor you. This is common custom. Green Firmament replied. You brazen beast. Just go in. The three sisters turned and entered their trap, followed by Laozi and Heavenly Primogenitor. White Crane Lad followed behind. What became of the three sisters? If you want to know, please read the next chapter.